Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission is always to take some really powerful, sometimes, overwhelming source material and just give you the distilled, actionable knowledge.
Right. And today, we are jumping into a big one. It's Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now.
A book that has really changed the game for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're here because you want the shortcut to the core teaching. And that teaching is, it's profoundly simple.
Which is what?
That your true wealth, that deep joy of being, that unshakable peace, it's already in you. It's complete. You don't have to go out and get it. You just have to uncover it.
And that idea is just perfectly captured in the book's opening parable. It's a great place for us to start.
It really is. It's the story of an old beggar. He's been sitting by the roadside for like 30 years.
30 years?
Yeah, just begging. And the whole time, he's sitting on this old box.
Okay.
So a stranger walks by and asks him, what's in the box? And the beggar just says, nothing, just an old box.
He's never even looked.
Never. The stranger insists, tells him, look inside. And so he finally pries it open, and it's filled with gold.
And the connection to us is immediate. The book basically says, we are that stranger telling you to look inside the box you've been sitting on your whole life.
Exactly. If you're always seeking something outside yourself, validation, happiness, security, you are that beggar. You're looking for scraps when you are literally sitting on a treasure chest.
Which brings us to the biggest obstacle, the reason we don't feel that inner wealth.
Yes. The constant overwhelming noise of the mind.
Right. So our goal in this deep dive is to explore how to quiet that noise, how to, disidentify from the thoughts and finally access the power of the now.
So let's start there. The essential premise. You are not your mind.
What happens when we believe we are, when we identify with all that internal chatter?
Well, the book calls it an opaque screen.
A screen.
Yeah, screen woven from concepts, labels, judgments.
Yeah.
Just this endless stream of words in your head. And this filter, it blocks any kind of true, unmediated relationship.
With yourself, with other people.
With everything. You stop relating to the thing itself, and you start relating to your idea of the thing.
So our thinking process, which is obviously necessary for survival and logic, has sort of gone rogue.
That's the perfect way to put it. Tolle argues thinking has become a disease.
A disease? That sounds extreme.
It is, but it's because it's so out of balance.
Yeah.
The mind is a superb instrument, but only when we use it. The problem is, it now uses us. And that is the fundamental delusion.
And he gets really specific about this. There's a statistic in the book that is, frankly, just staggering.
It is. The estimate is that 80 to 90% of most people's thinking is repetitive, useless, and often actively harmful.
80 to 90%.
It's just this background hum of dysfunction that causes a serious constant leakage of your vital energy.
Wow. 90% junk. I mean, that sounds exhausting, but also almost impossible to fix. Where do you even start with that? It feels like the mind just never stops.
And that inability to stop, that's the key. The source material asks you directly, can you be free of your mind whenever you want?
Can you find the off button?
Exactly. And if you can't, then the mind is using you. You are its slave. It's like being possessed without even knowing it.
So if breaking that identification is the goal, what does enlightenment actually look like? Is it some, complicated spiritual achievement?
Not at all. The ego loves making it seem complicated and far away. Tolle defines it very simply. He's actually referencing the Buddha here. It's just the end of suffering.
The end of suffering.
It's your natural state, that felt oneness with being. It's not a goal the mind can even grasp. It's just the stopping of all that noise, and all that's left is presence.
Okay, so if the mind is the prison, we need the escape plan. We can't just stop thinking, so what's the first practical step?
This brings us to the famous practice of watching the thinker.
Right.
It's the first most vital step. You have to start becoming the observer of the thoughts, not the voice itself. You just listen to that involuntary dialogue in your head.
All those repetitive patterns.
Yep. And by just being the witnessing presence, you start to create a separation. There's the thought, and then there's you watching the thought.
And the state of witnessing, it's not some kind of foggy, trance-like state, is it?
No, quite the opposite. This state of no mind is a higher level of consciousness. You're actually much more alert, more awake. You're fully present.
And every time you watch a thought without getting caught up in it,
You create a small gap in the stream of thinking. And in that gap, the light of your consciousness gets stronger.
so the goal isn't to become, intellectually lazy. It's about using the mind when you need it.
Precisely. You don't fall back to a pre-thought animal level. In the state of presence, you use the mind for practical things. And when you need a creative solution, you actually oscillate between focused thought and inner stillness.
The book mentions research on this, right? With people like Einstein.
It does. Eminent mathematicians and scientists, including Einstein, found that actual thinking only plays a subordinate part in the creative breakthrough. The real clarity comes from the stillness.
That stillness brings us right to the mind's primary fuel source, time. We have to get clear on the difference between clock time and psychological time.
Yes. Clock time is the practical tool. You learn from a past mistake. You set an appointment for the future. It's functional.
That's psychological time.
That's the destructive part. That's the compulsive dwelling on the past regret, guilt, and the compulsive projection into the future, worry, anxiety. That's the root of the dysfunction.
Tulsius uses some really heavy examples to show how insane this psychological time can become on a collective level.
He does. He argues that when a society becomes completely obsessed with a future goal, it justifies any means to get there. He points to ideologies like communism or nationalism.
Where the highest good is always in some imagined future, a heaven on earth.
Right. And the consequences of that belief are chilling.
Absolutely.
He notes that this thinking justifies the enslavement, torture, and murder of people in the present moment, all for a future paradise that never arrives. He cites the estimated 50 million people murdered for the cause of communism.
It's a chilling example, as he puts it, of how belief in a future heaven creates a present hell.
It really shows the devastating power of living entirely in psychological time.
Okay, so if we bring that back down to our own lives, this manifests as our daily problems.
Right. And you have to learn to see the difference between a problem and a situation. Problems are mind-made. They need time to survive. They can't exist in the now.
So in the present moment, there are only situations.
Situations to be dealt with or to be accepted. That's it.
So if I were to ask you, the listener, right now, what problem do you have at this moment? And you really focus just on the second.
The answer is none. There's no problem. There might be a situation you need to handle later, but right now there is no problem. The mind just loves to dwell on it without any intention of taking action.
It makes the struggle part of your identity.
Exactly.
That leads us right into emotions. Tully's definition of mind is actually much broader than just thoughts.
It is. He sees the mind as thoughts, emotions, and even unconscious reactive patterns. And emotion, he says, is where the mind and body meet. It's the body's reaction to your mind.
So if I'm thinking hostile thoughts, my body creates the energy of anger.
That's it. So if your surface thoughts say, I'm fine, but your body feels anxious, the emotion is actually closer to the truth of your mental state. It's reflecting unconscious stuff.
How do we access that truth then?
By bringing your attention to the inner energy field of the body. You have to feel your way in.
And why is that inner body awareness so important?
Because it's described as the doorway into being. It's also the source of what some call chi or life force. You need that connection to keep your emotions from just taking you over.
And this brings us to one of the book's most famous concepts, the pain body. What exactly is this entity?
The pain body is the accumulation of all your past emotional pain. Old grief, trauma, anger gets lodged in your mind and your body and acts like its own energy.
And it needs pain to survive.
It literally feeds on pain. It loves negative drama, arguments, playing the victim. It finds things like joy and peace completely indigestible. It starves in their presence.
So when the pain body is active, we're almost unconsciously driven to create drama just to feed it. How do we stop that?
Presence. It's always present. When the pain body gets triggered, you have to observe it. Feel its energy field inside you, acknowledge it, and just become the watcher.
And the moment you observe it,
the identification is broken. It can't use you anymore. It can't feed. It's like a phantom that dissolves in the light of your consciousness.
You mentioned psychological time is rooted in the future. That links back directly to fear, doesn't it?
It does. Psychological fear, worry, anxiety, dread is almost always about something that might happen. It has nothing to do with any actual immediate danger.
So my body is here and now, but my mind is in the future.
Creating what he calls an anxiety gap. You can always cope with the present moment, but you can never cope with a mind projection of the future. It's impossible.
Let's move this to our interactions with others. Relationships. So many of us think a relationship will bring us happiness or, salvation.
And Tolle says relationships are not here to make you happy. They're here to make you conscious.
That's a huge shift.
It is. The expectation that your partner will complete you is what creates that whole cycle of pleasure and pain. That search is basically an addictive clinging.
So how do we tell the difference between that addictive clinging and, well, true love?
Addictive clinging has an opposite. It can flip into hate or resentment in a second. True love, he argues, is a state of being that comes from beyond the mind. It has no opposite. It's not selective. It's a feeling of oneness with everything,
And to stay in that state of oneness, he introduces the practice of surrender.
which is not what most people think it is. It's not fatalism or just giving up.
What is it then?
Surrender is the deep acceptance of what is, accepting this present moment as if you had chosen it.
That immediately frees you from resistance.
From all that mental resistance that hardens the ego. And when you act from that place of surrender, your actions are clear, incisive, and free from past conditioning.
Looking at the bigger picture, what does the book say are the stakes here if humanity doesn't make this shift?
The stakes are existential. The source material is very direct. Humanity is under immense pressure to evolve, and this shift in consciousness is our only chance of survival as a race.
He calls it a quantum leap.
A quantum leap in the evolution of consciousness.
Yeah.
One that's basically forced on us by the misery and violence created by the uncontrolled egoic mind.
So bringing this all together for you, the listener, we've gone through the mind, time, emotions. The one clear takeaway seems to be that real fulfillment, that joy of being, is only accessible right now.
Always. And you access it through inner awareness, by dissolving the attachment to past pain and future worry. And the final, most crucial step to stay present is to root yourself deeply inside.
Which means what exactly?
It means to constantly, consciously inhabit your body. To always keep a little bit of your attention on the inner energy field of your body.
It's your anchor.
It is your anchor in the now.
Yeah.
It's what stops the mind from just dragging you away down the river.
And that awareness, it brings us full circle to this really profound idea that our personal shift is part of a much larger cosmic purpose.
Yes, we all focus on our outer purpose, our job, our goals. But Tolle suggests the ultimate purpose of this whole world of forms is for the unmanifested, for being itself, to be realized through us.
The world needs us to realize its own formless essence. Our consciousness is the vehicle.
Exactly.
So we want to leave you with this provocative thought to carry through your day. The world is needed for the unmanifested to be realized. By practicing presence, you are here to enable the divine purpose of the universe to unfold.
Just consider that. That is how fundamentally important you are.